Did you know that in 1612, a family in Lancashire, England, almost got burned alive for witchcraft? Well, let me tell you all about it. It was the year 1612, and the place was Pendle, a small village in the heart of Lancashire. The people of Pendle were, for the most part, poor. They lived in poverty, and they had very little food. But there was one thing that they had plenty of, and that was family drama. There were two powerful families in Pendle, the Demdike and the Chattox families. And these two families were at each other's throats. Their feud had been going on for years, and it all started because of this woman. Her name was Alizon Device, and she was the Chattox family's go-to healer. You know, when someone was sick or injured, they would go to her for help, and she would use her knowledge of herbs and plants to make them feel better. She was also a midwife, which meant that she helped deliver babies. One day, Alizon fell out with the Chattox family, and they accused her of being a witch and using her magic to harm them. To make things worse, she lived next door to the Demdike family, and they were her alibi sons. In other words, she was part of the family. So the Chattox family went to the local magistrate and told him that Alizon had cursed them and demanded that she be arrested. The magistrate didn't believe them, but they kept harassing him until he agreed to hold an investigation. On the day of the investigation, Alizon's son was so sure that his mother was innocent that he decided not to go to the meeting. That was a big mistake, because when the magistrate searched his mother's house, he found a book of recipes, and you guessed it, the recipes included instructions for making love potions and some ingredients that were supposedly used in witchcraft. When he found this book, the magistrate became convinced that Alizon was a witch, and he threw her in jail. Soon after, Alizon's family and friends started getting arrested as well, even though they had nothing to do with the Chattox family drama. In total, 10 people were accused of being witches. And in 1612, that meant only one thing: they were gonna get burned at the stake. Luckily, it started raining that day, so they weren't burned alive. Instead, they were burned to death, which is much worse. After the trial, people started saying the Chattox family was involved in the hangings, but nobody could prove it.